on guys, this is Oliver from Techitron, and today we're bringing you a review of a phablet. So if you've seen some of my videos before, you'll be familiar with the fact that I like big screens. And for today's review device, the Walton Primo NX3, we're looking at a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED display. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the review. I'm a little sick today, so excuse me if I start coughing like a dead person. Let's take a quick look of what's inside the box. Around the bottom you can see that we have a USB Type-C cable, and right above that we have the warranty card on the left, the device tuned right between that, and right next to that we have a silicone case. Other than that, inside the box you'll find a screen protector provided with microfiber cleaning cloth, the wall adapter, as well as a set of headphones. The USB cable provided with the NX3 is special because this is USB Type-C, and I believe it is the first one I have seen in the local Bangladeshi market. So what this means is you can plug it into your device either way without having to worry about which side is up, because this is reversible. So as you can see, regardless of which way I put it in, it's going to work absolutely fine. The Walton Primo NX3 measures only 7.4 millimeters thin and weighs 153 grams. Now this is very important because we're taking a look at a phablet device, so the thinner and lighter it is, and the easier it is to hold, the better for the user. The NX3 is a good looking device and it feels good in the hand too. The back is removable and is contoured so that it fits nicely in the hand. Other than that, it has a very reflective finish, as you can see, and is an absolute fingerprint magnet. And as such, Walton has provided a case with this. On the right hand side we have the volume up and down as well as the power button. And these don't have the same nice audible click that you would hear from a metal button, but they're very responsive and have a good bit of travel, so they're easy to use and comfortable to use, and almost within the reach of my hand. I have to stretch a little bit to hit the top part of the volume button, but that's not really a big issue. So let's take a look at the bottom part, and as you can see, we have these touch capacitive buttons, but the drawback about these is that they don't light up. So if you're using this in the dark, you're gonna have a bit of trouble, but well, you have to get used to that. And I think it's not that big a deal. Taking a look around back, we have a nice chrome ring around the camera, and we have this sort of crisscross pattern, and this is not textured, this is just a pattern. I've taken the back off of the device here to show you what's inside, and the first thing you notice is this big white battery, and it is removable, thank God. This is a 3150 mAh unit, and I'll talk about how it performs more later on in the review. But you have a lot of expandability options for 2 SIM card slots, and micro SD expansion up to 64 gigabytes, so that's always a big plus. The speaker on the bottom is not as big as the grill on the outside might suggest, but it performs really well, and you'll notice that in the gaming section. Recently, Walton has been using a lot of IPS displays in their smartphones, and they look very nice, but this one has them all beat, purely because this is an HD Super AMOLED display. Now, I have a little bit of a trick up here, and this is basically a black picture that I took. And the thing is, with AMOLED displays, when an image is black, it means all the pixels are completely shut down. So there's no light coming out of them, and you'll never be able to even realize that whether this display is on or off. And that is probably the best part of the display. Color reproduction on AMOLED displays, very nice, because, well, things are having a lot of high contrast and whatnot, so you'll be very happy with that. Viewing angles too aren't bad, and the brightness level on this display is really good. As you can see, I'm using this on a pretty bright day with no trouble whatsoever. Colors look a little bit warm, but I think I like them quite a lot. And as you can see, a lot of detail in the images, even though this is an HD display. Now the fact that this is 5.5 inches makes the resolution a little less than I would like, but still I think it's a very nice display and I don't really have many complaints for it. This also has Corning Gorilla Glass 3rd generation protection, so you shouldn't really have to worry about getting the scratch, but even so, there is a screen protector already installed, as well as one provided within the box, so you should be good to go. The NX3 is a double tap to wake feature, and that's something that I use almost all the time. Now the first thing you'll see here is that this thing comes with Carefree Launcher, and essentially nothing about this smartphone is stock Android. Over here, as you can see, this is what Carefree Launcher is, and it looks quite attractive and is themable. So one thing you'll notice first of all is that the toggles for your Wi-Fi and everything, they come up from the bottom, just like on an iPhone. And it's very, very nice and customizable. You can even make a fake call, switch on the torch with this, you see, it's glowing over there. And also you have quick access to your calculator and camera. You also have this very nice widget which is interactable, and see it moves around, it's 3D-ish. It's very nice and attractive. Now if I want to take a look at how you should theme the smartphone, you can go into this part, the theme park. Now right now I'm having the stock Android theme, which is Android L, but other than that you can choose from these various other themes which are preloaded on this device, and also set your wallpapers from these. Even the clock is customizable like that. Now one thing that's very interesting about the smartphone is this chameleon feature. So if you go in there, let's say I take a picture of, okay, right, let's match this color with black. Okay, and preview. What this is going to do is change up the look of the interface with the colors that I just chose. And I can choose really literally anything. So if I go back, I can even, for example, let's say choose maybe green and brown. And I think it's going to look a little ugly, but I don't really care right now. So as you can see, you can make that happen like that, and it's going to be like that throughout the entire smartphone interface. See, throughout the settings, throughout even the power saving mode, as well as in the contact. Preloaded with this launcher are some effects, such as the ability to, control how you swipe across, the changes over there. Very nice, and also very interesting and customizable. So I found this very nice and intuitive. Swiping down from the top is going to reveal to you the notifications shade, and right now I have no notifications, but basically they're nice and attractable, and they even put the priority notifications higher up. So for example, if you have an email or maybe a text message, they're going to be higher up when compared to, suppose, a notification from maybe a mobile game that you're playing right now. We have Android 5.1 Lollipop on this smartphone, and Lollipop performs absolutely awesome in this case. So as you'll notice here, you also have the traditional Lollipop style recent apps thing, and that's very nice. The settings menu too is quite different, and even though a lot of this smartphone is not stock, it's extremely smooth, and that's what really stands out for me in terms of the smartphone. Right now we're looking at power management, so if we go here, there is a power saving mode over here that's available, and if you click on that, it's going to reduce the screen brightness, try to slow down the processor a little bit and save power. But if things get really bad, you have extreme power saving mode, and as it says here, it only limits you to phone, contacts, messaging, and the clock. And standby time with that is going to be extremely long. So if you're suppose in a situation where you're, I don't know, maybe lost in the wilderness and your smartphone needs to last, then go for extreme power saving mode. It's going to last you a while. We know you guys like benchmarks, so we ran an Antutu benchmark test and got a very respectable score out of the smartphone. If you want information about the specifications, we'll tell you right now. So first of all, you have a AMOLED T720 GPU, and other than that, we have a 1.3 GHz 64-bit Octa core processor, and this performs really well, and you'll get to see that when we take a look at some of the games. We also have 2 GB of RAM on the smartphone, and I think that's enough for this use case in particular. Other than that, we also have 64 GB of expandable storage, as well as 16 GB of built-in storage. We always take a look at Modern Combat 5 when it comes to the gaming section, because that's a very good judge of how well the smartphone is going to perform. But we got some feedback from you guys saying that Nova 3 is also a very good game to try out, so we're going to start off with Nova 3 today. This smartphone performed really well, and I was actually quite surprised at how smooth this game was, so that's really good. But then again, I think that's because we're having an HD display instead of a full HD display. Now, another thing that is very good about this is that the screen is so large. Playing games on this is extremely fun, and even the audio was really good. So the whole experience of gaming on such a large device, it's very easy to hold. You got a lot of room for gripping and playing around with the controls. So that's very, very fun for me. The cameras on this device were a pleasure to work with. The main camera is a 13 megapixel BSI unit with an f2.0 aperture, whilst the front-facing camera is a BSI unit with a 5 megapixel resolution. Now, the reason why I really liked using this camera was because they have a lot of things to play around with. So first of all, I mean, the basic image qualities are very nice, but what I really want to show you guys are the optional modes here. And mainly there are a lot of things here that I want to show you, but I will show you the professional mode first. Now this thing has a lot of professional skills that you can do. So first of all, the one that I liked the most was the ability to control focus manually. So this is a little difficult doing behind the camera, but if you take a look, you can see the focus is changing while I slide down. So now the bottle over here is completely out of focus, but there we go. Now this is something that I've enjoyed playing around with. Next, we have the shutter speed. Now, I could change the duration of how long the shutter is open, and you'll be able to see the result of that within a picture after a while. And other than that, you can control the ISO, EV, and white balance, and those are all really good. One more thing that I like to show you is the ultra pixel mode. Now what this does is it takes a few pictures and stitches them together to make a really large 64 megapixel picture. Now the size of those images are very large, but what you do get on the other side is very high detail. Now this is a basic picture that I took, good color reproduction, a lot of detail. I enjoyed this. Very, very nice images. But over here, oh, we have a selfie over here. As you can see, a lot of detail. Yeah, I got some bad skin, but whatever. I look a little sick today. Now if I move over here, this is what I want to show you guys. So this would look a little better indoors, but you should just check out the gallery in the actual written review. So first of all, this is an image that I took with the exposure set to regular on auto, and as you can see, it's completely black because, well, that's exactly what it is, completely black. You don't see anything. I set the shutter speed a little lower. Oh, this one was taken with flash, and I set it to around 12 seconds, I think, and this was the result. I could actually see the object of the image, and this may look a little bit dim and whatnot, but trust me, this is absolutely amazing. I could see things in the dark with this camera, and that was pretty cool. I'd like to start the conclusion by saying that I enjoyed reviewing the Primo NX3, and that's what matters to me, because if I enjoy reviewing a smartphone, I have no trouble recommending it to somebody. There are a lot of things that I did like about this smartphone, but I'm going to start off with what I thought was the standout feature, and that is the camera. The camera was standout for me because of that professional mode. I was able to take pictures that I generally wouldn't be able to do with other smartphones, and that made me feel very powerful because I was able to do a lot of things with that. Other than that, it has a Super AMOLED display, and I'm a very big fan of Super AMOLED displays purely because of that high contrast ratio, those deep blacks, and very nice color reproduction. So for me, even though the resolution was HD, I enjoyed using the smartphone quite a lot. Next up, performance. The device was able to pull through whatever I threw at it, and it didn't really cause me to have any moments where I was like, oh, why is the device slowing down on me? So I was very happy with that. Next up, battery life. Battery life is extremely important to me because I use my devices quite heavily. Now, the fact that this has a large 3150 mAh battery, as well as the addition of power saving and extreme power saving mode, allowed me to take this device through almost 2 days on my maximum usage, and that for me is good on any smartphone. It doesn't matter. Lastly, we have USB Type-C. Now this is the way of the future. Type-C, the first time I took out this smartphone, I tried to charge it with my own cable, and I was like, why isn't this fitting in? And then it occurred to me, that did not look like a general USB, micro USB port. It was a USB Type-C port. And I really enjoyed using this. It's very handy to have it reversible, and I think it's the way of the future, and everybody else should start adopting this. The Walton Primo NX3 costs 16,490 taka if you buy it from any store, and it costs 15,336 taka if you buy it online. So if you want to save a little bit of money, just go for it online, and I think it's a very good deal. At the end of the day, I would recommend anybody, if they want to buy the smartphone, go for it. I enjoyed using it, and I have no problem recommending this smartphone to anybody. So if you use it, if you buy it, you will enjoy it, and that is my guarantee. Thank you for watching the review. Please find us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel because that really helps us a lot. If you have any suggestions or any questions, feel free to leave a message down below, and we will try to answer them as best as possible. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more smartphone reviews like this.